Hello, welcome back. Steve's Retirement Corner. Intentional spending. Hey man, a couple of weeks ago, this has probably been 2 weeks ago, I was watching a video by a couple up in New Hampshire. They're getting ready to move to Tennessee. Jim and Cherie. I always want to say Cherie because it's with a C, but it's Cherie. They got a channel on here called our Retire Early Journey. It was only a short 2-3 minute video, but down towards the end Jim was talking about intentional spending. That's what they're doing, and then how hard of it was for them to make that mind shift towards spending intentionally. And I'm glad he did, because of how much of a game changer it had been for him. Man, I've heard that term hundreds of times, probably from hundreds of different people over the years. But just something about that video, it got stuck in my head. It made me realize that that's exactly what me and Connie had tried to do just about all our lives. You know, I say try because a lot of times we didn't do it. But we always come back to it in the end. And it was a big benefit to us too. And I never realized it really. When I was working, I always tried to convert whatever the price of something was to how many hours it took me to pay for it. And it's the same kind of thing. It's not the exact same thing, but it was the same kind of thing. You know, it caused me to stop and think about a purchase. You know, I said before that I thought when people retire, they tend to become value buyers. You know, whether they were before they worked or before they retired or not, because you're trying to get the biggest bang for your buck and stretch your limited retirement nest egg. You know, but by intentionally spending on things, you know, you're not only you're thinking about your purchases and the effects of it. But you're not only thinking about saving a buck now and then, but you're thinking about the whys and hows of your spending. You know, why am I going to buy an 80-inch TV? Is it because I want it, or do I need it, or is it because my neighbor over there, Mr. Jones, has got one? You know, would a 79-inch do just as good for me? Save me $1, or the little 20-inch one I got, is that really all I need? You know. You know, and the hows you're spending, where your money is going. You know, am I spending $1,000 a week for groceries and got a daggone stack of credit cards big enough to choke a horse? You know, all that plays into, you know, into that intentional spending. Yeah. And not only that, by spending intentionally, it forces you to pay attention to your expenses and your debt. But it also acts as an automatic savings plan too, man. Because every dollar that you don't spend, that you have coming in, is a dollar that you can use for saving and investing if you want to. You know, yeah, that's actually how me and Connie are saving $1 in retirement. You know, don't get me wrong, Doc. Saving is an incurable disease or habit. Once you get it, man, it'll never leave you. Same for that daggone intentional spending. You know, we're always going to try to save a buck, man, here and there when we can. You know, but if you add the $100 that we intentionally save and to the $100 that that we save by intentionally spending, I mean, we've doubled our daggone savings rate in retirement. And not even thought about it. Never even knew it was happening. It just happens automatic. You know, I prefer to automate stuff, and we don't really realize what the heck we're doing until after the fact. To be honest with you, we just try to do what everybody is always telling you to do, stuff you've heard all your life. You know, and that was something. That was one of them. You know, thinking about things before you just go out there and spend your money. That I mean. Hey man, I know it ain't easy to save $1, Doc. Especially when you got more month and you got dollars coming in. It takes a while, man. You got to build yourself up and learn this stuff. I mean, we had to. It's hard. Just like Jim said, man, it's not easy to make that mind shift, but once you do, man, it can be it can make all the difference in the world in your retirement or in your life before then, too. I think, anyways. Heck, I don't know. I mean, it worked for us. I'll be honest with you, people always want to know what the baby thinks about my retirement now, or how she thinks about things. I'll be honest with you, she's even more conservative than I am. You might have to beat her to make her spend $1. We spent all morning in Petersburg intentionally spending this morning. I got a bunch of junk stores over there. I went over there to the agri supply they got over there, look for them daggone handles for that plow. They don't have them. But so we figured we'd stop along junk stores on the way home. And there's a lot of stuff in there that are nice. It's all, well, it's antique stores, I guess you'd call them, but I call them junk stores because that's what most of them are. They're old, but they don't make them antique. But so I mean, and the thing is once you able to make that mind shift and do it, and you get used to doing it, you know, after a few years, it becomes automatic to you, and it happens just like that. You do it, and you don't even realize that you've done it so long. That's the way it is for me and the baby, and I think that's why we don't realize what we're actually doing. You know, we got fortunate. We ended up doing the things that you're supposed to do, and we weren't really paying attention to it. We didn't really realize it. But I don't know. It really affected me to watch that video, and it made me realize things, and I thought it was an important thing to bring up. So I don't know, man. I remember it's been years ago because the kids were little. I guess they were still in their early teens, maybe. I mean, times were tough. Hey, man, we never went hungry. We never went homeless. We had what we needed and what we wanted. But the dollar was still tight, Doc. You know, the month was still longer than my income. Hold on, I'm gonna let that train go by. You'll never hear me. And I know I'm interested. Alright, it just went by now. But like I was saying, you know, it was a struggle for us for a long time. It felt like decades, to be honest with you. It probably was only a few years. But I was over at Mama's one time and Dad's, and I was asking him, I said, man, does it ever get any better? And he said, sure it does, man. You just got to keep going at it, and eventually your expenses come down, and you start making more money, you know, and then things kind of smooth out. And that's all we was looking for, Doc, just to have more money than we had a month, you know. When you're struggling like that, man, it's a hard way to live, and all you can't see no way out, and that's all you want is just a little bit easier time. We did anyways. But I don't know, man, that's all I got, man. It's been in my head ever since I seen that video, and I thought it was important, so I figured I wanted to speak on it. But anyways, man, y'all take care. If you get a chance, get you a glass of tea and a fermented cheese sandwich and sit down and watch the Masters this weekend. At least if nothing else, you'll be relaxing. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll talk to y'all later.